Right, welcome back. Last time we integrated Bologna and annexed Massa. Well, militarily anyway. Bologna was entirely diplomatic. There's also Ferrara that I need to deal with. I forced them to break alliance with Naples. Hopefully I can take advantage of that. Hopefully. It does rely on them not getting any allies in the next 5-ish years. Or, well, if they get any allies, it's going to be something like Verona. Or Friuli or something. In other words, someone weak enough so that I can actually deal with them without needing to call in, say, the Pope. Anyway, let's get on with things. Well, anything else? No? I mean, Burgundy's going for its independence now, so that's interesting. The Western Schism is over, and the Hussite Wars are primed to begin. There we go. Right, let's get on with it. Okay. Still no alliance after 2 years. Good. After that, I'm going to be bordering Milan, which is not the best position to be in. Okay, this is starting to look seriously dangerous, so I'm going to help you out. Oh, and Castillo controls Curia. Now, isn't that lovely? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I accidentally, through the spacebar, clicked the stop recording button somehow on the recording software. Okay, a note to self. Do not press the spacebar when that happens. Okay, let's go. Not much has happened in the intervening time other than winning the battle and then heading off and said, oh hey, Papal States, I'm sure you can do the rest on your own. Okay, let's get on with it. Okay, that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. If it weren't for the fact that Lucca is a free city, they would accept vassalization right now. Lovely. Lovely. Because they just reduced the size of the military to 1k troops rather than 2k. Not sure why. Perhaps budget cuts. Separatists are about to revolt any month now. So stop drilling and wait. If they don't revolt next well, if I have full morale and they haven't revolted by then. Huh. Yeah, whatever. Can I... Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Nah. I'm just gonna set the troops on there and just wait. That's the best way to handle it. Ooh, army professionalism is fairly high. And the whole thing with that continues. Lovely. Well, nothing much I can do about the Hussite Wars from over here, is there? Okay, so there's a couple things to do. First off, I need to grab tech. Matchlock arquebuses, which enables new infantry and cavalry. It's an improvement, though not much of one, on the infantry. The cavalry, though, definitely an improvement. It doesn't really matter what I grab, So, 4 Rick ships, for sure. Naval force limit plus 3%, naval morale plus 0.25. The printing press. Yeah, it should be fine. Urban production efficiency plus 2%. Yeah, 2% probably. Not 2.5%. Okay. Let's hope that's enough influence if I promote the bureaucratic faction. Oh no, it's not. It's 29, isn't it? Alright, I'll just appoint magistrates from across the realm. Continue expanding the bureaucracy. I can handle the reduced stability, I just need to be careful about it. Yield concessions to ancient liberties. Promote and support commerce. Oppose populist reform. What's the worst that could happen? Provide burger tax relief. Full grain provision. There. Yeah, that should be a reasonable amount of stability. Okay, so the burghers are slowly losing power, which I'm generally okay with. The churches as well, oddly enough. Oh, you keep getting angry mobs. Okay, stop drilling. What's the diplomatic situation up here? Ooh. 5 months. 5 months, and then it's over for them. I just need to be careful about unrest, but I'm sure it's not going to be a problem. See, stability went back up. Last thing I need is for the Pope to fall to a peasant revolt, so I'll assist with that, but I can't do too much. After all, I am planning on doing something else soonish. Truce expired. Let's go. Focus Modena. They have no allies. It's just me and them. And thanks to sheer troop counts, I can win any battle. Oh, okay. I don't actually have to siege them down anymore if I want to go ahead and vassalize them. Sure then. I just need to check other potential things. Oh, yes, and rivalry. That sounds good. That sounds very good. Mainly because of the prestige gain. Anything else? No reason to release nations. Give up claims? Sure. I'm not going to ask for any cash though. Of course that means I'm going to have to prove their loyalty, but that's fine. The Forgery of Constantine. Ooh, that's an event. Finally something interesting. Unlike the previous 3 sessions, yes, 3 sessions. Hasn't been that much here. But now. While studying the Vatican libraries, Pietro Leopoldo Corsini, Neapolitan theologian and historian, has made a shocking discovery. The donation of Constantine is, in fact, a forgery. The donation of Constantine was a document purportedly signed by Roman Emperor Constantine in the 4th century, signing over supreme authority over the Western Roman Empire to Pope Sylvester I in thanks for a miraculous cure. The document was used as proof of the Pope's claim to Rome and his authority over European rulers. Wouldn't that make the Pope the Emperor? At least before the HRE was a thing? Even then... The donation failed to hold up to the scrutiny received during the Renaissance. Not only were some supporting details wrong, but new humanist techniques found that the phraseology and vocabulary of the document were radically wrong for the 4th century. To a theologian and historian as brilliant as Pietro Leopoldo Corsini, it soon became apparent that it was in fact invented sometime in the 8th century, hundreds of years after the fall of the Western Roman Emperor. This news will surely embarrass and anger the Pope. Can it be true? It's like they're writing everything and everywhere. Let the church deal with this issue. Ah. It's the theologian. Catholicism gains reform desire. Yep. Alright. Ah, it's 1440. Just before the start of the the vanilla game. There. That's probably the better way to put it. Yeah. Real game implies that this one isn't real, and is oh so very real. But yes, the base game. Right. First things first, grab tech. Humanism. Stability cost and roll minus 1%. Caravels. Trade range plus 50 enables the caravel and the war galley. The hoofness. Reduced morale damage taken by reserves minus 5%. Mill tactics plus 1. Land morale plus 107. Artillery fire plus 109. Enables swivel guns and modern castles. Okay, that's it for attack. For now. Due to the changes in influence, I'm not sure if I can actually hit 30. Please. No. How is bureaucratic influence the exact same? I can't even do any of these minor reforms. Because I don't have 30 bureaucratic influence. Up. Expand the bureaucracy. Nothing better to do. Support commerce. Tax relief. Oppose populist reforms. I guess I can arrange a strategic marriage. It's a tiny amount of power. It doesn't matter all that much, I guess. I did expand the bureaucracy, right? Yes, okay. Yeah, there really isn't anything else I can do for the moment. Oh well then. Okay. The printing press. In 1439, Johann Gutenberg, an upper-class merchant in Zuid-Holland. That's at least my attempt at pronouncing that. Dutch spelling is extremely interesting. I will say that much. But yes. Applied his knowledge from his father's work as a goldsmith and created the world's first printing press. First movable type printing press. There is also the Chinese printing press, which existed for centuries by this point. that had, well, I mean, there's the fact that the huge amount of characters that Chinese script has makes it so that movable type isn't all that useful. Unlike with a Latin, well, unlike with a Latin script or other alphabetical scripts, or even phonetic scripts. Character scripts are just pictograms and other word character scripts are terrible for movable type. But alphabetical and to a slightly lesser degree phonetic are very good with that. Anyway, the first thing printed was a German poem, but Gutenberg had greater ambitions than that, as he aimed to print a Bible. This effort led him to bankruptcy, and his financiers took over his business, creating the first printed Bible 7 years later. The world would never be the same again. And today this invention reaches our nations. What shall we do? Support the invention. I mean, I've got more Groty loyalty than Burger loyalty, so it's the best decision to make. Oh, the Shadow Kingdom. For years now, imperial authority over the Kingdom of Italy has been waning. Successive emperors have failed to impose their will on the Italian states, and large areas that are formerly part of the empire have been lost to Venice and the Papal States, who reject the empire's right to them. Unless northern Italy is firmly... Actually, Venice hasn't been taking that much. They don't have any of Padova's or Friuli's provinces. But that's not important. It is absolutely true that the papacy and, well, I mean, these areas aren't even formally part of the Roman Empire, the HRE anyway. But the loss of Provence has had some side effects. Anyway, unless northern Italy is firmly brought back into the empire, the states there may slip out of imperial control forever. That would be my preference, because that means I could just, well, diplo-vassalize Lucca and eventually annex them. Unless all the regions of the Kingdom of Italy is part of the Empire before 1490 and stay there until 1550, all Italian states will be given a choice to leave the Empire and are likely to do so. I will certainly be doing so, and there's no reason to stay. The Kingdom of Italy, I believe, involves East Italy, West Italy, and Central Italy. It does not include Naples. Well, okay. The Kingdom of Italy. I don't think it includes Sardinia and Corsica, or Sicily, or Naples. Of course, that would mean conquering these bits of Naples back, but... Anyway. I'll just let that slide probably. I mean, aristocrat loyalty is pretty helpful for establishing reforms, and while in the base game it has actual consequences since it increases land ownership, the concept of land ownership doesn't really work as it does in the base game as it does with M&T. So they can't really affect that all that much. So all it does is raise autonomy in the province by 20%, which is okay. It's a bit annoying, but I can work with that. But more importantly, I finally have the ducats necessary to improve Pisa. Lack of natural harbor will be removed from Pisa. Instead, I will gain, and I will now have a minor natural harbor and important natural features. There we go. Yep. Minor harbor, important location. It's not amazing, unlike Genoa's harbor, which is major. Which is, I think, the best possible combination that you can get in the game. Yeah. I remember Venice's location being like ridiculously good for ship stuff, so yeah. This is pretty helpful moving forward. Should allow me to do some nice improvements. Though I should probably get a reasonable amount of urban infrastructure in place. I think it must have decayed to the point of not being very good. I don't care. It should be. Oh, we cannot afford this. Used rank 2. I can afford this though. Yes. Barely, but I can afford it. First piece of thorn. Okay. Yet another Hussite raid. I'm not sure last time they were. When was the last time they were at peace for more than, say, a couple years? So the Hussites have certainly caused Bohemia to ravage the nearby regions. And it still hasn't stopped. So, yeah. There may be internal peace for the moment within Bohemia, but that means that they're doing a lot of external stuff. I mean, a lot of it. But yes, it's 1450. Time to grab tech. Longer barrels. Reduce morale damage, take my reserves on 5%. Infantry fire plus 0.15. Artillery fire plus 0.1. Multiple mass. Ship durability plus 2%. Trade range plus 50. Block books. Was another idea group. For reasons of point distribution, I think it's going to be a diplomatic idea group. Might just be culture. Culture has a lot of neat little buffs that are fairly helpful. Not super duper helpful, but fairly helpful. Especially in idea cost reduction, which will be helpful when I get a admin idea group. Which might end up being just civic religion in order to, well, get that poor relief policy in, because it is helpful for ensuring that I continue to be able to do re-elections. Since it's enough to, it's literally produces on its own enough, assuming that there's no Republican tradition change beyond that, which is very much not a thing that happens, but assuming that's the case, then it's enough to pay for re-election. Because re-election costs for Republican tradition. Believe me, it very much costs exactly that. However, for that I'm going to need to get civic ideas, which aren't the greatest, but they're very helpful with regards to that policy. And, you know, there's also more Republican tradition gains, which aren't as helpful as they used to be in the Dithmarschen campaign, since Republican tradition actually sticks around instead of being dramatically changed like legitimacy does for monarchies. Thankfully, apparently there was not the planned effect, so that's at least good. Okay. Now we can actually try again, and this time actually get 30 bureaucratic influence. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, as for reforms, it'd probably be more helpful to do one of these first. Pick one that isn't bad. This one isn't actually all that costly. Doesn't cost any loyalty, doesn't cost any stability. That's a lot of corruption change though. Standardized recruitment of officials. That costs stability. Guaranteed livable salaries that actually raises loyalty. Gotta make sure that I have enough. Okay. I do also want to check the major for taxation. After all, that is fairly important, isn't it? Okay, I meet the requirements for tax officials. I'll go ahead and do that, because direct taxation tends to be more powerful than indirect. There is just the final question of, do I want to do more? Don't want to lose too much loyalty. And I don't want to burn too many points to prevent me from actually doing these reforms. And I can't allow myself to go to below 1 stability, because that costs too much. Ooh, restrict factional appointment. Yeah, I'm taking this. Okay, corruption's maxed out. Definitely going to have to do corruption reform, but... further reform. There we go. Enact reforms. It's going to cost some Republican tradition in and quite a bit of stability, but... oh... okay, let's do some other stuff too. Yield concessions to ancient liberties. I guess arrange a strategic marriage. Fine. Promote support commerce. Oppose populist reform. What could possibly go wrong? And perform a show of devotion. Well, I actually have points to burn. I really do, so it's fine. Although I probably should not grab any culture ideas until later in order to save on points. On the other hand, idea cost reduction. Well, there's still huge amounts of corruption. Okay, explore measures to fight corruption. Recall corrupt officials. I don't really need admin efficiency. Oh! Lavishly into the church. It's not like I'm gonna have any tax income for a while anyway. There we go. That took a while, but it is done. Nice little reform spree that's going to cause my treasury to collapse in on itself. But I'm sure I can survive for a while. I think I've just grabbed the first idea. Actually, wait a second. I rarely take this group, so... sure! I mean, the last time I took it was a Death Martian campaign, wasn't it? Yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and read this stuff. With great responsibility comes great entitlement to its benefits. Leisurely proceeds. It is only by appreciating the joys of life that leaders can understand how to properly bring them to their subjects. Anyone that truly believes this. Yeah. 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 The glorious leadership. Oh. Yes, okay, I screwed up the timings of these, didn't I? Great. Forgot to... that part down. Okay, okay. No, 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 no. I actually wrote that right. Sort of. Symbols. There. Sorry. Numbering system. Okay. Base diversions plus 1, stability increased in roll minus 10%. Specifically to deal with the fact that I have an incredibly atrocious stability at the moment, so... well, it seems my finances have already partially recovered. Somehow. Wait, do I have root out corruption active? Why do I have root out corruption active? That doesn't help. At all. Anyway. Let's get going. Yeah, I'd say this is a good point to stop. Even if I were looking at other things for a while. Yeah. So, I've managed to pass 2 major reforms, and largely recovered from them, state tax farming and tax officials. And I've also went ahead and managed to declare war on Ferrara without them having any allies and, well, vassalize them. I'm sitting here wondering if it's a good idea to try attacking Milan at any point. So admittedly, they are very, very strong and 12k troops, but they don't have all that much quality. Yeah. However, I've managed to fix up the port of Pisa, so that's clearly useful again. It's now a minor harbor and important trade location, so that's going to be very helpful for getting control over, well, this node here in the near future. After all, I'm the second biggest in the Tyrian Sea, and, well, my competitor is Genoa, which isn't exactly fair. I've gotten influences in Rome done, so I've been using my influence to use to beautify local saint, so I've got 2 more permanent centers of Catholic pilgrimage, so they're all along the south here, so that's fun. Thankfully, the foreign cores, should disappear eventually. That look is going to take a while. Yeah. I'm good on tech. And I've also managed to pass a bunch of minor bureaucratic reforms as well. For example, living wages, organized hierarchy, hire through recommendation, politicized hire, appoint magistrates, informal tests, etc. Actually, that's, I think, it. Plenty of time, but not very many interactions in order to increase things. Though lately I've been doing a lot of arranging a strategic marriage in order to get noble loyalty up, which is reasonably convenient. Although I am somewhat annoyed by the fact that it increases their power, but with time I can work around that. I've also been, yeah, like I said, I have somewhat recovered from it. My stability is actually doing fairly good considering I just did 2 major reforms. Loyalty is great, so it shouldn't be a big problem to do more bureaucratic reforms. I've got plenty of points, so there really is nothing to worry about insofar as tech and ideas are concerned. Although it might take a while for me to actually complete culture ideas. Which I'm doing in the interest of obtaining acculturization. No. Because it was available. It was the best option. I wanted a diplomatic idea group, and none of these were particularly amazing for my needs. Espionage is going to be so useful later on, but culture is more helpful at the moment because of the various buffs it gives. Espionage also gives quite a few useful buffs, but they're different and similar at the same time. I mainly grab it for the yearly corruption reduction. The other parts just aren't all that helpful, although fabrication is useful. And reduced corruption from elites is also somewhat helpful. And, you know, elite powerful autonomy. The other buffs just aren't great, except for maybe the Diplo rep. Title rank still county. And getting Perugia is just next to impossible. Burgundy's now independent. England's about to lose the 100 Years' War, though. Despite the fact that, yeah. So, however Burgundy managed to win their independence, I guess it might have been a bit of a fluke. Or it could have been that Naples provided enough oomph to overpower France. And honestly, with 50k troops, that's actually seems kind of likely. Spain formed, which is wonderful. Bohemia's been raiding everyone. It's ridiculous how much they've been attacking their neighbors. I'm certain they're building up a huge... They've built up a huge military. They're at 40k troops, which is twice that of France or England, approximately. It's honestly more than pretty much anyone else has. I've been looking around and I don't see anyone with nearly that many troops. Yeah, you have to go to the Khanates for that many troops. Not even the Mamluks or the Ottomans have that many. It's honestly impressive. And very, very scary. But yes. I have been doing a couple infrastructure projects in order to improve upon amenities infrastructure. That's really it. I've been acting pretty passively, I guess. Building up tech, reacting to events. Although they have largely dried up now. Italy will almost certainly leave the HRE in 1490. That's when the event says it will occur. Then I can probably... Well, Lucca will almost certainly be willing to be vassalized by me, or at least almost certainly. I may need to improve something. Maybe increase wealth, or build up ships. Maybe get more diplo rep. And at that point it will be fine. Oh jeez, sheer amount of corruption. Anyway. I think I've gone on long enough, so... I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.